Career Compass, in partnership with the National University of Singapore.
Today on Work It, we're talking about breaking down traditional academic silos at one particular college at the National University of Singapore. The College of Design and Engineering, or CDE, has seen the two disciplines merge, and we want to know what outcomes they've seen in their undergraduates.
That's right, and sharing his observations and perspectives with us, and also divulging some interesting interdisciplinary courses for students at the college, is Associate Professor and Vice Dean for Undergraduate Studies with the College of Design and Engineering, or CDE. He's Dr. Martin Lindsay Buist. Dr. Buist, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah. Firstly, can you introduce and tell us about the College of Design and Engineering, CDE, at NUS, and the different types of careers it opens up to CDE graduates?
Sure, no problem. So, of course, we're very well known for our research, but basically it's admission seasons, right? The A-level results came out this Friday, so I'll focus on what we have to offer our prospective students, right? So the college CDE offers 14 undergraduate bachelor's degrees. All of these are 4-year programs, and they're all what we call direct honors. You can graduate with honors degree. And of these 14 bachelor's degrees, 11 are in different branches of engineering. The other 3, we have 2 Bachelor of Arts degrees. You can get a Bachelor of Arts in Architecture or in Industrial Design. And we also have a Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. So in terms of a career, well, our graduates have professional degrees, so they continue to be sought after by our employers. But what people are interested in is what's the latest and greatest, right? What's the trend? The World Economic Forum, I keep a bit of an eye on this. They publish a list of the fastest growing jobs, right? The latest list has things like AI and machine learning, sustainability, big data, robotics, electrotechnology, it's like EVs and things, and digital transformation. And I look at this list and I think, wow, we have degrees that cover all of these, right? So you think about worldwide, the fastest growing areas for employment, they're all accessible to our CDE graduates. And if I think about locally, built environment, maybe coastal protection, energy security, water security, so these sorts of areas are actually creating vacancies faster than we can fill them. If we think about on the design side, we have projections from Singapore Design Council that says we'll need another 17,000 designers by the end of the decade. That's actually a lot more than we can graduate. So there's certainly no shortage of opportunities for our graduates.
Right. So clearly CDE is on the pulse and keeping very close tabs on what's out there, where the demands are with regards to jobs and careers and fields. Now, design and engineering, Dr. Buist, sound like two pretty distinct fields, if you like. Some might even think they are barely related to one another, but they actually are very integrated. So tell us, what is expected of an engineer of the future?
Well, I kind of think of design and engineering as both being somewhere between useful and beautiful, right?
Nice.
Engineers are problem solvers, right? So they would typically trend towards the more useful side of things, with designers towards the more beauty, the aesthetic side, right? But the reality is, if you have a solution that works but is very ugly, no one's going to buy it. If your solution is spectacularly beautiful but doesn't work, and maybe the first few will buy it, but then you'll get such bad reviews online, no one else will buy it. So, but if you nail both the design and the engineering, then you've created something which has real value, right? It's a classic case of the whole being more than the sum of its parts. And it's really possible when our design and engineering work together, right? The classic example is the iPhone. But if I think big, one of my favorite buildings in Singapore is Jewel at Changi, right? Yeah. Yes, go there to eat, but also take a look, appreciate the form and the function, right? All the greenery, the structure. This is a great example of our designers, our engineers, our architects coming together to make something really amazing.
Yeah.
So then you also asked about the future, right? What's expected? This is a difficult question because I think, our prospective students, those that are applying this year, for example, they won't hit the job market for another 4 to 6 years, right? So essentially for us, we need to try and make our graduates future-proof, right? So we've spent a lot of time on this. On the surface, you see our students doing things very hands-on. We're challenging them with real-world problems, real data sets and things. But at the deeper level, we're really trying to teach our students different ways of thinking, right? Different ways of approaching problems, how to learn effectively, learning to integrate, so no matter what is presented to them in the future, they will have the tools to adapt and to thrive. So in short, I would say you need to expect the unexpected, but also you need to know how to deal with it.
Definitely. And we really like what you said about things having to be both useful and beautiful at the same time. Dr. Buis, that really speaks to design and engineering because it is an interdisciplinary learning. But can you tell us a bit more about what interdisciplinary learning means and how it is clearly demonstrated at CDE, as well as some of the more positive outcomes for students?
I think if you ask 3 different people for a definition of interdisciplinary, you might end up with 4 different answers. so look, if I pick climate change for an example, right? If you could take all of our green finance professionals, lock them in a room and tell them you're not allowed out until you've solved climate change, I think we both know that they're never coming out. How come? Because they only understand one part of the problem, right? So our most pressing problems, also our biggest opportunities, they need us to bring in experts from different disciplines and to get them to work together effectively to find solutions to our problems, right? So then I think about at CDE, we're essentially training the next generation of experts. So when we think about interdisciplinary education, we need to make sure that our graduates are able to take this wider view of the problem, right? To recognize there are more than one aspect to it, and also to work very well in synergy with those other fields. So this is what I would say is an interdisciplinary education. All right. So then all of our students go through a common curriculum. We have plenty of interdisciplinary courses and opportunities in there, but I think I'd rather focus on what we call unrestricted electives, right? So all of our students are given 1/4 of their curriculum, essentially a whole year out of their 4 years here, and they can choose to take whatever they like to customize their own learning. So some will choose to be very specialized, but actually many choose to take something interdisciplinary. A very popular choice is our innovation and design program, right? So this is essentially students with all manner of different backgrounds, different degrees, different majors, working on interdisciplinary projects, right? I know radio isn't a visual medium, but if you took the time to Google IDP at NUS, you take a look at the projects that our students are doing. I check this out on a regular basis, and we actually see a lot of startup activities starting to come out of there too.
All right. I'm going to be checking out more about the Innovation and Design Program, and that would definitely be inspiring, especially for students who are looking at what might be potential opportunities for them to study over at CDE. Let's reintroduce you to our guests who have just tuned in. Dr. Martin Lindsay Buist is our guest today, and he is the Associate Professor and Vice Dean for Undergraduate Studies with the College of Design and Engineering at the NUS. Now, let's bring you back to 1st of January 2022. CDE launched then, so it's been more than 2 years now. What testimonials, Dr. Buist, or successful stories perhaps have emerged since that testify to the efficacy and also the effectiveness of this new model of interdisciplinary education and also, the synergy between 2 different fields?
Okay, let's start in reverse. One of the other places that I keep an eye on a regular basis is actually our Division of Industrial Design website. They also have a cool YouTube channel. I mean, if you search DID at NUS, you're bound to find it. So I'm an engineer by training, so then I like to keep an eye on how engineering flavors are being integrated across our curriculum and into the design side. So then now our industrial design students need to take interdisciplinary courses like systems thinking. They need to take digital literacy, data literacy, artificial intelligence. So these are all part of our common curriculum. And I like to see the progression over time of the industrial design students' designs, incorporating more and more technology without us really pushing for it. It's just the the synergy of them coming together. So I think that's very cool. We have one student, Ian Siu, who has developed something called an OXO brace. It's a rehab tool for people who have undergone open heart surgery, right? Your ribs are very sore, your sternum is very sore, you need some sort of brace, but everyone's shape is different, right? So Ian is an industrial design student, but he uses basically networks of air bladders and vacuum tubes to provide the traction that the patients need in exactly the right place, right? So then he's currently still working with us and also working with NUH to take this further.
Wow. That sounds like it's going to help a lot of patients indeed. Well, Dr. Buis, we're sure that the courses and curriculum options available to you when you were an undergraduate student were quite different from what CDE makes available to undergraduates today. So assuming you're now a young man enrolling at CDE as an undergraduate this year, what would particularly excite you about the course offerings?
My kids take great delight in reminding me how old I am. So there's actually two key things that have me really excited. So one is brand new, starting in August, right? We've actually been working in the background for some time with our NUS School of Computing. So now, together with them, so we're now able to offer a new second major in computing and also a minor in computing to our CDE students, right? So at its core, they basically have computer science and AI, add on a large basket of electives so students can choose to customize their learning, right? Maybe they're aligning with their major, maybe they're pursuing other interests, right? So I think about it. So someone joining CDE this year can take a double major in engineering and computing. This makes me excited. But, it's not just engineering who benefits. You can also take architecture and computing, industrial design and computing. So I think what better way to future-proof your employability than to have your recognized professional qualification and computing, right? So the second thing is that for a couple of years now, we've been blessed with some really talented students as part of our Engineering Scholars Program. We call it eScholars for short. So this is positioned as the premier scholarship program for engineering students. So starting this year, we're introducing a parallel program for our design students. It's called the Design Scholars Program, or D-Scholars, right? So we're looking for the very best future architects, future designers to be our first batch of D-Scholars, right? And like our engineering scholars, we're positioning this as our premier design scholarship as well.
Would you have more details as to what the scholarship might entail?
Sure. So basically, the thing that people always like to know is, yes, we pay for pretty much everything. So then there's that financial component. We pay tuition fees, living allowance. You get to stay in the on campus usually in our UTown college program.
Right.
And we will subsidize your overseas travel for a student exchange. Our NUS overseas colleges, summer programs, winter programs. Yes, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. And we also want to know, I think you've kind of briefly mentioned some of these new programs coming on stream as well, including the scholarship program. Any other interesting interdisciplinary courses that students from the NUS CDE can look forward to?
Yes. So have you heard of something called Geron Technology?
No.
Geron Technology.
What is that?
Yeah, so I don't think many people have. So basically it's a combination of two fields, two words, if you like. The first word is gerontology, which is the study of the aging and the aged. And there's one thing we're not short of is old people, right?
Yeah.
And of course, technology, that's our one of our key focus, our key strength at CDE. So put these two together, gerontology, technology, you have Geron Technology.
Wow.
So this is the course our undergraduate students can sign up for. It's basically the application of technology to help the population as it ages, in particular to age in place. Right now, I think even there was a few snippets on the TV version of CMA the other day. So this is one of our popular interdisciplinary courses. If I can squeeze in one more.
Sure.
We also have something completely different, sustainable water harvesting technology. right?
Wow.
I mean, we kind of take it for granted here that, when you turn on the tap, nice clean water comes out all the time, right? But much of the world isn't like this. There's actually a global water crisis. So this particular course brings together hydrology, the study of water and movement, right? It brings together science, advanced materials, and the technology, and of course, sustainability, right? So did you know you can collect fog, for example?
Fog, as in like
F-O-G.
F-O-G, fog. Yes.
Right.
Wow.
You can collect it. Yes. I mean, Singapore, we live in a humid climate, right?
Yeah.
You can actually extract fresh, clean water from the humidity in the air.
Wow,
And
it's
you can do it in a sustainable way.
So you're literally, getting water from the air, and that would definitely be a solution that I think if everyone can do it around the world, we would solve all our water problems, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But if you want to find out how, you'll have to sign up.
You have to sign up,
Yeah.
And there I am still collecting rainwater runoff from the roof.
To water your plants.
Very good.
All right. Maybe I need to think about this program as well.
So exciting,
CDE.
fascinating
Yeah.
indeed. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Buis, before we let you go, we really got to ask you about what's coming up at the open house. What can our A-level graduates or, any potential undergrads expect from this open house?
Plenty of things to show, right? A lot of student progress. But the problem is really we have so many things to show. We have to narrow it down to what can fit in the space that we have, right? So you'll see some student designs. You'll see some very cool architectural models. There's a pretty good chance you'll see our nano satellite there. But if I can put it in a different perspective, I've been with CDE and predecessors for 20 years now. And to me, the key differentiating factor is actually the people, right? So the great thing about Open House, I get to talk to so many parents, so many prospective students, and interacting with students is one of the best part of my job. So please do come down and talk to us, right? Many cases that we've had students come along, they talk to professor. Before they weren't sure what they wanted to do, but they somehow get inspired, and then they're very happy they come and tell me this a few years later.
So don't miss that opportunity there, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Buis, for making time to speak with us. And I'm sure a lot of our parents tuning in and the young ones, well, not so young anymore, if they're going to be going to university, will be excited to find out more at the NUS Open House. It begins online from the 2nd to the 7th of March and on campus on the 9th of March. And this is the website they can visit to find out more, nus.edu.sg/open house. Thank you, Dr. Martin Lindsay Buis, for being our guest today. Dr. Buis is Associate Professor and Vice Dean for Undergraduate Studies with the College of Design and Engineering, our CDE, at the NUS. And thank you for telling us more about the value of interdisciplinary learning and also some of those very exciting courses at the NUS College of Design and Engineering. This has been Work It.
Career Compass, in partnership with the National University of Singapore.